Hello, dear audience. My name is Julian Ricardo Gasca Cuellar, and I'm a student teacher of the English Language Teaching Program in the Amazonia University. In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience as a practitioner teacher in the institution Jorge Eliezer Gaitán.
The institution Jorge Eliezer Gaitán is located in the 17th Street next to the Amazonia University in Florencia, Caquetá. The institution possesses two headquarters. The first is the 7 de Agosto headquarters and the second is the Simón Bolívar headquarters. Besides, the institution offers two specializations, which are business and accounting management. Inside the institution, there are 3 technology rooms, 1 physics lab, 1 chemistry lab, 1 English room, and 17 classrooms divided from 6th to 11th grade. Apart from these ones, there are also 1 meditation coordination room, 1 academic coordination room, 1 teacher's room, 1 photocopier's room, 1 storage room, 1 principal's office room, 1 specialization in technical area, 1 secretary's office, 1 porter's lodge, 2 bathrooms, 1 conference room, 1 hall, 1 cafeteria, 1 sports center, 1 football court, and 1 basketball court field. Finally, the entire complex is under surveillance by multiple cameras located inside. The institution course attitude towards the English was an interesting one in most of the students. Due to that, some of them had precedent negative experience with the subject, thus shaping their attitudes and notions towards it. However, from the first moment that the practitioner implemented different approaches and methodologies, many attitudes and moods changed, hence transforming the class picture. The students revealed appropriate attitudes whenever the student-teacher exposed or explained something related to the English class, and saw a certain degree of respect when covering some themes or aspects. Nevertheless, they took advantage of the confidence that the student-teacher permitted sometimes, thus becoming a tool for displaying undisciplined expressions and signs of misbehavior. Postures of that sort were corrected by implementing an introspective but firm demeanor. Consequently, the main problem that prevailed from the beginning until the end of the practicum was the discipline that, as stated above, it appeared a few times only, but it certainly did affect the development of the lesson plans. Likewise, although the student-teacher performed dynamic activities inside the classroom, some of the students found them tedious due to the undisciplined environment created, since even though some students wanted to participate and engage in the activities, the troubled students did not let that to happen. Little by little, these attitudes decreased noticeably, chiefly owing to the effectiveness and adequate employment of ludic and didactic dynamics, which aid to the easement of negative postures and the rise of boredom. Hence, by exposing and engaging the students into practical circumstances inside the constructive activities, the students were able of analyzing, executing tasks, and solving problems with no further trouble, thus allowing the apprehension of meaningful language learning. Subsequently, the teacher practice as a training method for the preparing and molding of teachers' information certainly assists the adaptation process in the academic and educational field before facing the real context. Due to this, it allows the acquisition of pedagogical and experimental insights through the exposure of learning and teaching scenario with the purpose of consolidate the earlier knowledge or theory into the classrooms. Similarly, between the novelties noticed within the practice experience, the practitioner could notice the employment of many rude words and disrespectful expressions among the students that had not observed before, as well as the constant use of their cell phones. In addition, the student-teacher perceived the use of makeup in some girls too. This explicit event forces the practitioner to reflect about it, and one advice to the parents of such students would be that they should properly guide them through that critical phase of the growth. Consequently, the practitioner did not manage a specific approach or teaching method, but a combination of the grammar translation method along with a natural way, total physical response, and suggestipedia. Therefore, each method aided the development of one topic, also as a translation tool for introducing another phase of the lesson plans as an enforcement or for the increase of the linguistic skills. For instance, the grammar translation method worked as a traditional but applied properly. It works efficiently for the introduction and explanation of a new grammar topic. In addition, the natural wave aid the assimilation of the ear for the advancement of auditory skills and unconscious reproduction of English language acquired innately. In the same way, the total physical response showed profitable results for the shift of activities in a kinesthetic and encouraging manner. The Suggestopedia method performed as a stimuli for the emotion of the students in the shaping of the environment aura to a relaxed context with the purpose of receiving a positive response that affects the students' learning attitudes. Finally, the student-teacher witnessed some minor issues with the implementation of the mixture of those. First, not all the students felt comfortable with the type of music chosen by the Suggestopedia method, and lastly, some students found a bit tiresome the grammar translation method since it was just merely theory. For this reason, the practitioner had to accompany the progression with an audiovisual aid and more pragmatic focus to obtain a clear notion if the students learned the knowledge explicated appropriately. Moreover, from an academic perspective of a teacher information, the practitioner analyzes that each case has its own pros and cons. For instance, by working individually, the student teacher will have more hours designated for the independent teaching, thus contextualizing, identifying strengths and weaknesses for the students for the English learning, in a suitable way the concepts of English language inside the classroom. On the other hand, by working in peers, the practitioner examines two different contexts from a different outlook, as an observer and as a teacher, hence widening and deepening the basic information of the teacher experience in order to be able to implement different learning and teaching strategies according to the diverse contexts. To sum up, if the practitioner would have to choose, he would choose any of them because both of them are beneficial. Among the extra activities carried out within the practicum, it is fair to highlight the work with the project that was an English song festival outside of the classroom and the reproduction of movies. On the other hand, the teaching practice teacher always showed an attentive manner when it came to her students. She was a model to follow because she has had a lot of background regarding the English teaching and the personal formation. So she always advised what she thought it was the best for the right execution for the lesson plans and the classroom management within the classes. Although she did not count with an enormous amount of time, she always found an alternative to assess the teaching process or to solve any concern of any kind. To conclude, she should keep forming future teachers since her methods are convenient and relevant for the English teaching practice progression. Alternatively, the cooperating teacher displayed a highly collaborative critic and strict attitude to speaking in educational and professional terms. But she was a kind, fun, and wise person. She always suggested the pertinent manner of following the contents required by the Ministry of Education and new strategies to implement inside the class, which helped to ensure an operational and significant language teaching and learning. Furthermore, she kept constant communication with the practitioner concerning the design and application of the lesson plans, thus providing a positive and nurturing feedback. The materials that assisted the practitioner goes from flashcards, videos, songs, design materials like weather charts, to games and movies. Due to the specific nature and context the student teacher finds himself in, it is indispensable to provide the class with as many resources as possible so that the learning can guarantee. The most useful and relevant tool was the TV, since it could be used in a variety of ways and forms. For example, videos or PowerPoint presentations with clear and explicit explanation of topics that students might find boring if explained in another way, songs with lyrics to practice pronunciation, and the acquisition of vocabulary games played in the TV with the aim to comprehend and apprehend language as well. The assessment methods utilized to evaluate the improvement within the teaching practice was varied. Academically, there were worksheets, acting, and some performances, drawing activities, and group work activities. Disciplinary speaking, there were some aspects to take into account as well, which would increase or decrease the students' grade according to their behavior inside the classroom. The relationship built with the class was a peaceful and harmonic one with most of the students. The sharing of experiences between us in and out of the classroom strengthened and bond the group learning, playing, and chatting. Concerning the students with discipline issues, they sometimes were disrespectful with each other and sometimes even with the practitioner. But this is when the student-teacher approached closer so as to guide them to the right path, relying on their abilities and dexterities they did not see but ignored due to the diverse factors. To conclude, it is right to assure that the teaching practice is a never-ending process that provides the practitioner with a broad understanding of the real context inside the institution Jorge Eliezer Gaitan. The contextualization process of the English language knowledge is a complex and critical one, mainly owing to the link with the causes that indicate a modification of the learning processes of the students. This might be the social, economic, and cultural aspects that go through their lives and that reflects in their academic performance. Consequently, the practitioner, by the application of a prior identification of the student's multiple intelligences, which has garnered claims students learning ways that are identifiably distinctive, could set up a developmental course plan which facilitated the practitioner's slow adaptation process. This imperative requirement led to the confirmation of a practical and pertinent environment and in agreement with their special and specific features that contributed to the enhancement of their linguistic skills and competences. In conclusion, the teaching practice developed with some difficulties, but thanks to the student's good disposition, along with the student-teacher effort and the practice-teacher accompaniment, the exercise could consummate effectively, making feel the practitioner deeply pleased with the work carried out.